Hey everybody, this is Crispy990 here, and this is part 2 of my little two-part grouping. The first video is pretty much just 10 facts about myself since I got tagged. I sort of drew it out a little long, and now this is sort of the second part of my little account update that I mentioned. A few new things I've gotten, like this new sharpening system, as well as some things I've done with some paracord. First off, I'm not sure if I will do a review on this knife or not, mostly because it's a custom knife. It was made for me by someone I know, and I don't think anybody else has it. It's the only fixed blade I have other than my nightshade knives, and is, I believe, classified as a survival knife since it has a hollow handle. And I just put some matches wrapped in paracord in there just in case I ever actually needed it as a survival knife. It just screws right on and off and has an O-ring so you keep moisture out of there. The only markings on it are right here at the base of the blade, and it says Parker Brothers, Surgical Steel, Japan, US patent pending. It has some little design on it of some sort that I can't quite make out. This was made for me when I was 8, and so it was so dull I couldn't hurt myself if I wanted to, but I think that was the idea. But now, between just a 99-cent sharpening stone and then this system, check this out. Just absolutely razor sharp. Anyway, you get the idea. And now the way that this system works, if you don't know, is you take your blade and put it in the clamp like this. Probably loosen it a little. Anyway, it sits in the clamp, and it has these two adjustable sort of rods with little eyelets on the top. And then you take your DMT diafold sharpener. This one is fine and extra fine. And the system actually comes with a proper rod and clamp. And since I lost mine, I sort of made one out of just taping a straightened out paper clip on here. But anyway, you just place that through the little eye hole, and then sort of rub it across your blade, and that way you get a steady angle every single time. It's just a fantastic and simple way to sharpen it. It runs about $50, the system, with the clamp, the diafold, and the rod that I don't have. This is not really the rod that came with it. I just sort of ghetto rigged it. But it's a great system, works incredibly well, as you saw. Pretty much taking a dull knife, turning it into something like this. It's razor sharp. And the diafold cost about $35, and so for about $50 for the rod, the clamp, and then the diafold is not a bad deal. Works incredibly well. And it's made by DMT. And let's see, onto the paracord stuff. What I did with this is just sort of wrap some paracord around it and secured it inside the belt clip here, and now I can hang it just like I do my Ram Kydex neck sheath for my Kershaw leak, sort of across my chest and sort of underneath my left arm, and I can hang it upside down like this. Let's see, but mostly what I've done with my paracord is stuff like this, and it's made a little simple lanyard for it, for my knives. I've done this on this, my Kershaw Shallot, and my Cold Steel Voyager, since these are the two knives that I really do the heavy duty work with the most. And just having a little one finger lanyard really helps to keep it in your hand, and if you're going to do some stabbing tasks, you can put your index finger through it, and that way your hand won't slip down onto the blade, which is pretty nice because that would suck. And you know, I just put a little box knot in the end for a little bit of decoration, but it is still functional and very, very useful. Now with this, I got the idea for it from Cutlery Lover's Chris Reeve Sabenza, and I like the Sabenza. The scallion's a little small, especially for my hands. It's a little small, and it just helps to have something on the end there just to grab onto when you're using it. As you can see, it's what I wrap my pinky finger around, and it's just a simple little box knot with gutted paracord, and it just adds a little more comfort and stability to it. But I think I'm going to cut that off and make a cobra stitch on it. This is a cobra stitch bracelet with just regular paracord. I didn't gut it or anything, and just a neat little bracelet that can be even used for a survival bracelet, since you can cut the loop off and the little knot on the end here that keeps it on. You can cut that off and then have, I think, something like I don't know, 4 feet of paracord, something like that. In a survival situation, any paracord you can get is useful. But I think just the shape of this would work better as sort of an extension of the grip on the scallion. Pretty much the only thing other than that I did is just made a little, I believe it's called a fob, for my keychain out of just gutted paracord and a little box knot. And just real quick, just pretty much out of boredom, I did make these 2 other bracelets. This is just a basic weave, and then this is a super cobra out of king cobra out of gutted paracord. Pretty much the same thing as this, just woven on top of itself. It's a little thicker, a little bigger, but sort of just neat, and much more useful in a survival situation. And I believe all survival bracelets made out of paracord are in the king cobra stitch, but without gutted paracord like this. So they're pretty large. But anyway, let's see. I think that's pretty much it with the paracord. You know, made a little keychain, grip, you know, some bracelets just for kicks, and sort of survival bracelets, I guess you could call them, and grip extension for a short knife, which is very helpful, and then simple small finger lanyards for the 2 knives that I do most of my work with. And the sharpening system I got is the DMT Magna guide system with the diafold, fine and extra fine grit. It works very, very well. Very adjustable, and the little literature that comes with it explains, you know, what angles the 7 settings are, and what they're best used for on individual knives. Like the 7th setting is the lowest setting, and so you use that on pretty much like razor blades and that sort of thing. And then settings 6 and 5 are used more for these kind of knives. But anyway, once again, I'm Crispy990, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Peace.